First, the headlines. State level Meri Mati Mera Day celebration held. Chief Minister N. Biren appeals to all CSOs people to unite. Student cookies apologized for massacre of over 900 Nagas during 1917-1919 rebellion. UNC asked 𝐊𝐶. And Thadao is not opposed to NRC as demanded by Meiteis and Nagas, says Thadao Student Association. Hello, welcome to newtv. This is SURBALA MAIREMBAM giving you the news in detail at this hour. Now the news in detail. As part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, Meri Mati Mera Days, a campaign to recall the sacrifices of war heroes in India's freedom struggle and pay tribute to them was held today. The state-level program was held at the auditorium of Manipur State Film Development Society, MSFDS. Soul of 16 districts were displayed as part of the program aimed at fostering a sense of responsibility towards the environment. Social Welfare Minister 𝐒𝐿𝐷, Education Minister 𝐂𝐈𝐑𝐄 Basantakumar, Works and Youth Affairs and Sports Minister 𝐺𝐵𝐼𝐷 𝐂𝐻𝐿, Health Minister Dr. Sapam Ranjan, Public Health Engineering Minister 𝐿aisangthem Susindro, Agriculture and Commerce and Industry Minister 𝐿thongam Biswajit, Transport Minister Kasim Basum, and Pasoy MLA Sapam Kunjakeshwar were among those who attended the event. Speaking on the occasion, Chief Minister N. Biren appealed to all civil society organizations, people to unite as one for a better Manipur. He stated that an unfortunate incident of nude parade at Nongpok Sekmai on May 4 portrayed Manipur in a bad light across the globe. And Biren appreciated those who provided clothes and sent the two cookie girls home safely. The government is working tirelessly to restore peace and normalcy in the state. The crisis is not due to a clash between two communities, but a war waged by the Chin cookie narco-terrorists from outside the state, and it will take a while to end this war, he said. The Chief Minister also stressed the need for all people of the state to stand united at all times, irrespective of communities or political affiliation, and work together to make a better future of Manipur. Let us all respect the history, culture, and tradition, and also take pledge as a citizen of India to make India a self-reliant country, he appealed.
Salliba ngasigi khongthang sida aikoina haihoragana matam kuina dagi manga galakpa koi indigenous people singi right, hak, democracy system adu amu hanjalalaga koi indigenous people sumgi leidiba mayamse fajuna with dignity hingaugadaba masida karigumba koi steps hoigraba Salibu steps the Equina was it Lady Manipur Toy, but also the Equina steps hoigraba. Emotion among Kargas at Kraba, Natraka Kalak young Tina among Kargas at Kraba, Natraka Agi have individual ego, or Agi have individual Minchat Tanabun the Sana Grakadi, Levaxi, Tungi Mirror, Satina Kaibama, Lehogudaba, Hyba Punamaxi, Manipuri Praza, Punamang the Kambirumuni. Thang iba khong thangada ba khong thang si karino haibase khong ama thang dingeda manga tarara khallaga thang ba matam thangjalar ba khong thang oiragasu mafam do da tagada ba leiri haragadi maning han toga to palambi engada ba matam maramdi soiba yada ba ki adugumba situation duni ngang ba yam laiba hai ba yam laiba discussion da karida tibi ba manga phamaga ngang ba ngang ba but practically implement over ya bra Siki port me. Assembly session nama kauna na bahona bada, pamna na bahona bada. Karam angle dagi kari laga kari thengna gi ge. Hai basi loin khabar da mayam da wa loin khangna gre. Masi ma pamna na ba masi ma ware pa ma long na bahona bada. Government sin kayam warang bada ge habis mayam loin khang birong. But we took this step. Sarkar sigi aikoi adu gumba party na de khoi Manipur bu ai political benefit kharag dem ta yon thok pangam ba dung party do koi nate. The root cause of the crisis, root cause of the conflict. Honorable Union Home Minister, the clear cut hunger. I could be your lumber, my ambush, political benefit, Karagidamata. I could get democratically Kalaway, Kanosimo Mutat, Honor, Piat, Honor, Praza Mayambu, Wahana, Abswabu, Salagan, and Honor Mayamdo. Maya Kunki, Hujukshu, Manipur Praza, and Apple Thousand Embassy. Please, come and trust them you. Manipur Kanduri say koi mayam punam praja singi support kalo in Kanduri. I koi khongpa mama lengoy. Moirang hunu the sariba ethnic part the lady by koi Manipur is structure. I koi kaheloy. Pun I koi himminan no gilam tai koi satrapalan. Indigenous people singi nahet piraba. Pangbum to pahak mayamama matlagalem ek mayamama. I koi kamai hinami kambibra. Major community or my days. Masana Masasi lotion general exiamagale. Manipur Land Revenue Act. Pick about 8% gilam chile. Major community my dana. Atopa community am the lamama yonjo. Adugilam do lay amuk aina lay hamata lemadu. Deputy Commissioner de Department Loholame. Matonda Hoshi Lamzi or Lamak Mulay Adamina Hoshi, Matonda Mangja Ginanabu. Alpha policy lam there, Yamangine. Adu politically. Hosiki am the Luruba Tanzasi, the Karigino, Hanamayam, Logi Gatrane, Nandabni. Rasi to Eba to Shekarai the Gitopon. 1971, give a blunder.
In a reply to World 𝐒𝐿𝐄𝐍 Intellectual Council, 𝐊𝐶, United Naga Council UNC has contended that Cookies have been making various contradictory claims. Cookie homeland within Manipur, greater autonomy, 𝐁𝐈𝐓𝐿 and now separate administration. With this changing goalposts of the Cookies, how can the Nagas be sure that the Cookies will stick to a single demand, UNC maintained? In the reply to an apology and appeal by 𝐊𝐶 on July 24, UNC further asked if the Nagas can trust the Cookies that they won't stab them in the back once the crisis is over. UNC inquired as to what the areas of their demand for separate administration are and what will happen to the lands that have been taken from Nagas. Further asking if the Cookies are prepared for any adjustment and are willing to acknowledge the true ownership of the lands, the UNC maintained it will be extremely difficult to come together without these things sorted out. With regard to the so-called Anglo-Cookie War, the UNC maintained that the Cookie rebelled against the British government for conscription of their people to the labor crop. And instead of fighting against the Britisher, they seized the opportunity to pay old scores against the Nagas by massacring over 900 Nagas in 1917-1919. Shouldn't the 𝐊𝐾𝐼C instead be apologizing to the Nagas for all the killings that they had committed? UNC questioned. It also maintained that misrepresenting another community's name for the sake of one's own gain is totally wrong. UNC said that the claim by 𝐊𝐾𝐍 that Kangpokpi, Chandel, Teknopal, parts of Ukhrul, Kamjong, Tamenglong, etc. as the ancestral land of Cookie is simply not acceptable. The history that has been concocted simply doesn't tally with the true history at that UNC. Apart from the original settler, it is known fact that the majority of Cookies had migrated to these areas in the latter part of the 19th century and mostly in the 20th century. There are enough historical records written by the British historian to bolster this fact, contended the UNC. Also, there is evidence of refugee allowance given to Cookies in the 1950s, 60s by the government, which is an irrefutable proof. Comparing the population growth of Cookies and the Nagas, UNC said the growth of villages from 164 in 1969 to 460 in 2023 in Chandel district, from 68 to 326 in Teknopal, from 179 to 721 in Kangpokpi respectively. And the growth of Tamenglong from 116 in 1969 to 146 in 2023, from 126 to 147 in Senapati, from 106 to 92 in Ukhrul clearly illustrate what it is trying to point out, said UNC. Thadaw Students Union Association (TSA) has announced that Thadaws are not opposed to NRC as long as it is guaranteed to be done fairly to include all Indian citizens in Manipur without targeting or being biased against any particular community. This was stated in a joint press release issued by the TSA based in several states, Delhi and NCR, Bengaluru, Assam, Dima Hasao, Guwahati, Haflong, Harangazao, Karbi Along, Mahur, Mizoram, Telangana yesterday. The joint press release said that the association condemns in the strongest term all incidents and all forms of violence against innocent civilians, and it is not against the NRC proposed to be implemented in Manipur by Meiteis and Nagas. It further said it has been closely monitoring and observing the incidents unfolding in Manipur ever since the conflict erupted on May 3 and is seriously perturbed by how the Thadaws in Manipur have been severely affected. TSA said they have not issued a public statement on the current crisis until now for the sake of Jaw tribe unity within the community. However, the unfolding situation has compelled them to make this joint public statement to express their grave concern and position on the current crisis, which has caused untold miseries, sufferings, and the devastating socio-economic impacts on all victims, it said. It condemned the burning down of TSA Registrar Office at 𝐒𝐿𝐷 Bank Palace Compound, Mahabali Road in Imphal on May 4, and the arson on the house of Tax Secretary General Michael Lamzathang 𝐒𝐿𝐷 at Panel Village in Churachandpur by some heavily armed miscreants on the night of May 7th. Attacks on Thadao-dominated area in Imphal Valley areas must be immediately controlled by security forces and Meitei CSOs. Responsible Meitei CSOs must rein in Meitei mobs or miscreants from carrying out further attacks, it said. The association also appealed to the COCOMI to clarify as to whom they refer to by narco-terrorists and illegal migrants, and asked them to be more sensitive and cautious in this matter and refrain from issuing sensitive statements that can be viewed as targeting indigenous tribal communities of Manipur. While pointing out that Manipur is a home to most of the Thadao since time immemorial, TSA said the declaration of 7th April as a state-level Hun Thadao Cultural Festival by the Manipur government from this year as state-restricted holiday and its grand celebration on April 18 and 19, 2023 at Kangpokpi endorsed and reaffirmed the indignity, nativity and citizenship of a Thadao tribe in Manipur. Appealing for a concrete roadmap for bringing a permanent solution, it said the government must be more proactive in its effort to protect civilians and its dealing with the crisis and do more to enhance and accelerate relief and rehabilitation works to meet the needs of all the affected people. The fierce gun battle between Kuki terrorists and state force at Naran Sena, Maninglaikai and Khwadentak in Bistupur district entered third day today. There are reports of many Kuki terrorists being killed in the fight. There are also reports of gunfight at Sunusify and Fawala now. As of now, no injuries have been reported from the state for site. Amid the continuous attack on Meiteis by Kuki terrorists, 2 Muslims were apprehended at Wangzing Tentha Lamkai by Mairapaibis of Wangzing Hodamba Mamang Lekai for carrying essential commodities from More. Later, the items were distributed to the IDPs at Relief Center at Wangzing Katompokpi Sports Complex. The apprehended Muslim had been identified as a 21-year-old Muhammad Talib, son of Muhammad Isuf Ali of Sora Mayai Lekai, and 29-year-old Muhammad Aslam Khan, son of Muhammad Abdul Aziz of Sura Awang Lekai. Sunflower seeds, brush candle, etc. are found in the eco van they were traveling in. The registration number of the van is ASO1BT8839. Displaying the seized items, Mairapaibi of Wangzing Hodamba Mamang Lekai, Laishram Tarubi, alleged that these 2 Muslims were unable to produce the owner of the products and that the so-called non-Manipuri owner is not answering their calls. Naturally, the belief is that these items were being transported for Kuki's claim Tarubi. The duo has also agreed to distributing these at the relief camp. Tarubi also appealed to the public to not help Kukis during the war. The 2 apprehended persons have now been handed over to their parents. Situation in the state remained tense with sporadic incidents of firing and congregation of protesters during the last 24 hours. According to report from control room of Manipur Police, search operations were conducted in the fringe and vulnerable areas of Kangpokpi, Thawal, Churachandpur and Imphal West District. 5 arms, 31 ammunition, 19 explosive, 3 packs of IED material and 10-meter cortex were from Kangpokpi and Imphal West District during the operation. Movement of 325 vehicles along National Highway 37 with essential items had been ensured. Strict security measures have been taken up at all vulnerable locations and security convoy has been provided along sensitive streets in order to ensure free and safe movement of the vehicle. A total of 130 checkpoints were also installed in different districts of Manipur, both in the hills and the valley, and the police detained 1,646 persons in connection with violation in different districts of the state, the report added. MLA of Samtung Assembly constituency Sapam Nisikanta and Tim Nisikanta have handed over an amount of 50,000 rupees to Ras Medicity Hospital yesterday. It is said that the assistance provided to help those injured in the current ethnic violence. Chairman and Managing Director of Ras Medicity, Hawizam Rajan, thanked the MLA for this gesture. Sapam Nisikanta also visited Caesar Hospital and extended monetary assistance to Managing Director of the hospital, Dr. K.S. Palin, to help in the treatment of victims of the clash. The central government has called for a special session of parliament to be held from September 18 to 22. Union Minister Prahal Joshi posted on X, formerly Twitter, adding that there will be 5 sittings. Government sources have also far been silent on possible agendas. There is speculation that a special session is being called to begin the process of shifting from the old to the new parliament building. So this session may begin in the old and in the new. Government sources have though also said the agenda is likely to include Amrit Kal celebration and India as a developed nation. There is no hint of any important bill that will be passed. The call for the special session has been criticized by several opposition leaders, with those from Maharashtra pointing out the date clashed with India's most important festival of Ganesh Chaturthi. Shiv Sena Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray leader and MP Sanjay Raut said that even China will step back from the border after seeing the way with which India alliance has been moving forward. As the opposition's India alliance advances, seeing our power, China will start stepping back from borders, said MP Sanjay Raut, while targeting Eknath Shinde regarding the Maharashtra NDA state meet. Sanjay Raut said to have a meeting, it won't matter if NDA calls Chandrayaan to their meeting. Meanwhile, Bharatiya Janata Party national spokesperson Sambit Patra on Thursday came down heavily on the opposition India bloc, alleging them to be involved in scams worth crore of rupees. With the Lok Sabha election scheduled for early next year, a direct battle is brewing between the opposition India alliance and the ruling NDA. Tomorrow, both alliances will have a real high-level meeting in Mumbai. A new logo of the India alliance is also likely to be launched. At least 63 people were killed and 43 others injured after a massive fire broke out in a multi-story building in the central business district here in South Africa's biggest city, emergency services said on Thursday. Authorities said it was unclear what sparked the blaze at the 5-story building in the city center. City of Johannesburg Emergency Services spokesperson Robert Malawski and firefighters were alerted to the fire in a building on the corner of Delbars and Albert Street at about 1:30 a.m. The fire gutted the building on the corner of Albert and Delbar Street. A video posted by Malawski on X saw fire trucks and ambulances outside the building with burnt-out windows. A toddler was among the deceased. Of the injured, some suffered smoke inhalation with others sustaining minor injuries. Malawski said the fire had been contained and that they were busy with damping down as well as search and recovery operation. He said the death toll may increase because there was an informal settlement inside a building, which may have resulted in people being trapped while trying to flee. Officials from the city of Johannesburg Disaster Management have been activated to start facilitating relief for affected families. Now the headlines once again. State level Meri Mati Mera Day celebration held. Chief Minister N. Biren appeals to all CSOs people to unite. Student cookies apologized for massacre of over 900 Nagas during 1917-1919 rebellion. UNC asked 𝐊𝐾𝐍𝐈𝐒. And Thadaus not opposed to NRC as demanded by Meiteis and Naga, says Thadau Student Association. That's all we have for now, but for more news update, keep watching newtv. Have a nice day.